I started with the 500 kwacha notes. My 50 had 10.
What was the reaction from family and friends when you told them, I think I'm leaving from employment, I'm going to become a full-time farmer?
Let us see what he's going to do. That was the first thing. That's many of the colleagues were saying. You know, he'll come back. You know, he'll fail and come back. I think that is the most reaction that I got from there. Yeah, with the families, of course, you know, where they feel like you are winning the bread. They say the breadwinner. Yeah, you are winning the bread, and you just decide to say, I think I have to stop there to concentrate on something which they are not seeing. You see, so it is something that is accepted with very mixed feelings. A few would say, let's go with it, but a few would say, yeah, so I had to really be focused. With colleagues, they've said, we have seen people who have resigned, and after some time they come back to start begging for what they left. So me, I said, let me try it. Until today, I have actually provided more employment to others. I have employed myself, and I'm extending it to a lot more families who are benefiting from my risk which I took. Any of these leading supermarkets, you bought tomatoes, you bought English cucumbers, you bought yellow peppers, red peppers, green peppers, definitely you have eaten something from here.
For 61 years, Zambia has been heavily dependent on mining. But what would happen if we ran out of minerals? At the end of the day, we all need to eat. So agriculture is the answer. Africa, being a youthful continent, leaves me with this very important question to my fellow youths out there. Don't you think it's time that we got involved in everything? For a better Zambia, for a better Africa. If you agree with me, please subscribe to this channel, share this video, and send in your likes. My name is Princess Julika, and you are watching The Stones. I am very proud to be Zambian, and right now, as I'm speaking to you, I'm standing in the field of one of the Zambian youths that has decided to take the future of Zambia into his own hands. Now, Ackibu, we are doing something that many of the youths in this country, maybe even Africa, are scared to do. And I must say, I, as an individual, I am very proud of you. And then I know Zambia and Africa is also proud of you. We're very proud of you.
Thank you.
When I was getting to meet you at first, I was like, you know, he's a farmer, so obviously he's going to be dressed a certain way. And then I meet you wearing these very nice suits. Is this like your everyday outfits?
Okay, yeah, this is actually depending on how a day is. Yeah, for me, you know, you actually welcome to this agricultural enterprise. You know, it's a business. Yeah, so this agricultural business, it requires that certain roles, responsibilities are charged with a particular individual at a time, and makes up a system that at the end of the day brings out what you and other people see. So it just depends on the day. Yeah, there are others when other days when you are doing more administrative tasks. I think it requires that you do that.
So today I did more of the administrative tasks.
Yeah,
right?
like today it was more of that.
Oh, I like your suit, by the way.
Thank you.
All right. So there's this saying and myth that surrounds farming that farming is for the old people, for the elderly. You can't be in your 20s, in your 30s and be a farmer. What do you have to say about that one?
Well, I think I would say it is something that requires much of your energy. It requires much of your critical thinking. It requires much of your health. So if I really look at the Mandara type, I don't think we do have a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I believe we have more energy when we are at youthful age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've got more energy, we've got more capacity to think critically, we've got more capacity to involve ourselves even in where power is needed.
Mm-hmm.
And we are more healthy at this, we are more productive at this. So this requires a productive person in order for it to be more productive. So I actually don't think we need to really uphold that.
Yeah.
It's actually just a myth that went around this industry at the time that we were growing due to certain misconceptions that were there traditionally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you've heard him. You don't need to be in your 60s, in your 80s for you to decide to venture into farming. You need to venture into farming when you're at the most energetic.
You need to make the most out of the best of you. This is the best time for you to invest, the best time for you to prepare for your future, for your old age.
Yeah.
When you are old, you are there to retire. That's why they say you have retired. When you retire, it's up to you now just to think about what have life made me to be. What have I done for myself? What have I done for my generation? What have I done for my creator? What is next for me? Such things. You are relaxing. You are preparing for your exit out of this world. Not like, you've reached the old age and this is when you're thinking like you have been brought on earth and you need to really work hard for yourself. That's why you see a lot of men dying early, Yeah, so that is it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which also brings me to this other point that I've heard most of the people say or discuss. They say for you to start farming, you need to start with a lot of money. You need to have a lot of money. Is that true?
Misconception continues. Okay, yeah, because I'll just say, these are just myths around this industry. It just require not much, but much of your ability to think, your ability to plan, your ability to acquire skills and knowledge that is relevant to the industry that you want to set in. Yeah, so you want to venture into agriculture. You would not just stand afar and say, I know about agriculture and this is what it is. So you draw closer and, get to know what it requires a lot. Yeah, so mostly that's that it, in a nutshell, it doesn't require much. It depends on what you have, because what you have will determine what type of crop can you do, how much can you do, how can you do it, in order for you to get to where you want. Yeah.
So it's about the ability, the knowledge. So how much did you start with? Or what did you start with?
I started with the 500 kwacha notes. Yeah.
When was that?
My 50 yearly 10 is 500 kwacha.
When was that?
It was back then in 2017 when I started taking farming as a business. But way back in 2013, I was still acquainting myself with the farming practices, skills, and knowledge. And by 2017, I was able to decide that let me do a business. And I had to take a 500 kwacha, which I got from my work, and just took it as a starting point. And it has to move from one space to another. I couldn't do everything at once.
Yeah. I see. So before you dive into the more about farming, they are curious to get to know you. So who is Ackibu Saidi?
Well, Ackibu Saidi, generally a farmer. Well, a professional social worker and an agricultural scientist, and humanitarian philanthropist of the year 2024.
Okay. So before you ventured into farming, what were you doing before?
Before I ventured into farming, I worked a little bit. I worked a little bit just to raise the resources for my endeavors to come through. So I worked as a social worker in some NGOs, and when I moved out of there, I also went to another hospitality industry where I worked there as well. Yeah, anyway, being holistic, it was Chaminuka Nature Reserve and Lodge where I worked there. Yeah, I was manager for guest relations and operations, and I served for 3 years, and then I retired.
Okay. So what made you to retire and venture into farming?
The passion in me to, one, you're looking at the economic independence at first. Yeah, at a personal level, family level, and you're also looking at the future. Yeah, there's this generation that is coming, so how can we really prepare for them? It was also a question of what have we prepared for others. Yeah, so I really had that zeal of being economically independent. Yeah, and I think that the environment area did not really support that. It helped me, but obviously it was not really making me feel the same. So I had to really strive hard and ensure that I reached to that extent.
So what crop did you start with?
Well, the first crop that I started with was winter maize. That's why today you're seeing the same being incorporated into our rotational plan. Yeah, so winter maize itself, I told you, I had a 500 kwacha.
Yeah.
You see? So if I had to go for high cost crops like tomatoes, one way in now, a 500 kwacha wouldn't do me anything. You see? So I had to look at winter maize because at then we could buy a 5 kg of seed at about 150 kwacha. You see?
Yeah.
And the bag of fertilizer was 250 kwacha. Then it makes what? You see? It's 400 kwacha by then. Yeah. So me being able to plant a lima, that is that 5 kg of maize seed, and get the fertilizer. Also use the cans to draw water and just give my crops was enough to start with. But when I realized it was actually about 10,000 cobs that came out of there. Yeah, you see, so it's these 10,000 cobs that came out of there, then you are multiplying by the selling price, which at then was 3 kwacha. You see, so that 10,000 cobs was able to give me 30,000 kwacha.
Nice.
And then from there, I had to sit down, consult. I have this 30,000 kwacha now. Should I go and buy a Corolla or what should I do? You see? Yeah. Yeah, because I could manage a Corolla by then.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's the first time you're having, 3 bunches of 10,000 kwacha each, and it's just here.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, what should I do with it? Yeah. So I actually consulted and got some mentorship. Say, you see, my brother, what you can do here. Just where you had planted your maize, let's see, do a bit of some tomatoes there and so on. So that's how it started, growing up.
Okay.
Yeah. The story can be long, but let's cut it short.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're standing in the tomato field right now.
Yeah.
So tell me about these tomatoes now.
Tomatoes. Did you have your breakfast?
No.
We're going to have lunch somewhere. Then this is actually, I think, amongst the most active ingredients that are in every preparation of the dishes. So if you I think I know you can't miss a day without tomato in your meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see. So this is just how it is done. Yeah. So I'm at a level where we should be able to, we get it from a seed, we take it into seedlings, and we're able to plant it here, manage it, it gives us these fruits, and they are on the market. Okay. Yeah. So we produce for consumption. We produce for the country. We're producing for you and everyone else, including myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought of not just producing it for my home, but I can produce it as a business. Give the people at home. The rest I can exchange with money Yeah. So me, I can produce and give those who are not producing. Let them give me money since they have money and they can produce. So it is a business. Yeah. So we're standing in tomatoes here, and tomato is a business for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the process of maintaining this crop?
The process of maintaining this crop. Okay. One, this is, a plant has got life as well.
Yeah.
So to support its life, you just need to ensure that its environment is supportive. Yeah. So there is one, we are looking at the soil itself. The soil has to be healthy. So soil healthy is very important. And once that is achieved, we are looking at the irrigation, how you and me requires water every time. Even with the same, they require water on a frequent basis. So they will need to ensure that water is provided, and we feed, just like we feed. These are also organisms, right? So just like us humans feed, they also need to feed. So we should be able to give them water. We should be able to give them nutrients in terms of feed. Yeah. So once this water and feed is given, then all we need is to provide other physical care, like weeding. They have to be free of weeds so that they don't compete for the same water and feed that we have given them. And then we also protect them from infections. As human beings, we protect ourselves from various infections, and that makes us who we are, grow healthy. And just like this, there are also same organisms that requires protection against diseases and infections. Once they are infected, they can also be infected. Then you also just need to know what is the cause of this infection and how we can cure it. So you can give it also some medications it takes and get healed, and it proceeds with life. Yeah, so that is just in a nutshell. So once it matures, like ourselves, from a tender age, you reach maturity, you require to marry. When you marry, offsprings are coming, and so just like that. And when the offsprings are ready, they are taken to other areas also where they can be independent. So here, once it matures, it gives us the fruits. And when these fruits are matured, we take them off, we pick, and then exchange them for money elsewhere, and we remain with our money. So that's the process.
Okay.
Yes.
These tomatoes look very, very, very healthy.
Okay.
And I can see you're adding some fertilizer. What kind of fertilizer are you adding? Were you applying?
Okay, yes. The healthy is like that, and also the kind of fertilizer. Like, what kind of fertilizer are we applying right now? Okay, right now we have provided nitrogen. We have also provided potassium, and we have provided another phosphorus. Okay, so these are three elements that we have provided just now. Why do we give it that at this level? We thought, looking at the age of the crop, looking at its healthy, it's probably required that it builds more on root healthy, and it requires that it builds more on fruit sizes, and it needed also to build resistance against diseases. Where we are standing now, it's in summer, right? Yeah, you and me are almost walking naked because of the heat, right? Yeah. So with them, what do they do? Yeah. So we give them water, but they become too prone to illnesses. So we need to build their resistance against the illnesses. Yeah. So there is that element in these fertilizers that are able to give them, such characteristics. Yeah, we need the fruits enlargement. Then we need the fruit texture to also be hard enough, so that when we give you, it should be able to stay on your shelf for at least 21 days or more. Not that Magula tomato today, tomorrow it is water. No. You get it today, it should be able to be with you for at least a minimum of 3 weeks. Okay. So that is it. Yeah. So it's just a science study.
So what's the cost of running and maintaining a tomato field?
Oh, that depends on the size as well. It just depends on the size of the field itself. But like I mentioned, you only venture in tomato production if you are ready, and also the scale at which you are doing that will matter. So there is probably a minimum of about 2,500 to 3,000 kwacha per plant management cost.
Per plant, like from
yes,
this one plant?
Yes. Management cost during its whole lifespan. You have to prepare its land, its soil, give it its water, give it its feeding, then pay someone who is looking after it, yeah, protect it from diseases. Yeah, and then you'll be picking from there until the last point. It will give you that average of 2,000 to 3,000 kwacha.
Yeah. Okay. So looking at how healthy and nice these tomatoes are you supplying them to any supermarkets? Who are you selling it to?
Well, generally we are supplying to the country through the supermarkets. Yeah, that's the first step. Yeah, all the leading supermarkets, we have existence there of at least a minimum of 5,000 kgs in a week that we do supply. But then there are also open markets. Like these women, they'll still come from different markets and get the product, especially those that have ripened to an extreme extreme color. So that will go direct on open market. But mostly it's produced for supermarkets.
How did you manage to penetrate these supermarkets? I've heard a lot of farmers say it's not easy.
Nothing should be easy, I think. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, not so easy. But if you are dedicated to, you know what you want, and you are actually serious about achieving, serious about taking it as business. Those people, they are there running businesses. So they have to be there also to ensure that their businesses are not going into a loss. So they have to put measures in order to mitigate the risk of making losses. Hence, these procedures which are there. But these are just normal procedures. Normal procedures. This just maybe you and me who might be weak in thinking and think like they are deterring us from supplying. Yeah. So it is not something very, very difficult as per se, because if those are not there, then it means quality will not be upheld. You see? So these procedures should be there to ensure that our end users, who happens to be you and those listening to these programs, they are actually protected. They get the highest quality possible. We don't give them damages, you see. And the supermarkets, when they're selling, they have to make sure that what they have on their shelves is something of the highest quality. Because when they go there, you know how much you pay. There is no negotiation there. There's no like, no, discount me like this. No, there's nothing like that. We just find on the shelf, tomato is 20 kwacha per kg. You just get your 20 kwacha. There is nothing like, no, nothing like that. So we have to ensure that it is of high quality, and those standards and procedures that have been put in place to ensure that consistency, standards, quality, things that are always upheld. So we just fail, obviously, to adjust as maybe Zambian farmers, African farmers. I think the challenge is across Africa, right? Yeah, like African farmers. So, but it is never something difficult. It is just something that is there to safeguard the interests of both the supplier, the receiver, and the end users of this product. Yeah.
Let's go back to the cost of each plant. How much did you say it costs?
It's between 2,000 and 3,000
per plant, or like this whole row or column,
depending on the variety that you choose, and also the environment that you plant and how long the period that you take it, because there are others that would cost less at purchase, from seedling, then even the fertilizer program that you adopt is going to be less. Then the lifespan, how long it's going to exist from the moment you transplant up to last of it when you are going to complete the harvest. It's about maybe 3 months or so, but there are others that can go up to 9 months, and others can do like a year, provided on the environment that you do it from. Yeah. So that is what varies. And the maximum of it, if you take the best, it will take you to that.
Okay.
Yes.
So how many plants do we have in here?
Yeah, so like these ones, because these are open fields. Like open fields, they're different from greenhouses. Like yeah. So when you do it in the greenhouses, the period of lifespan is actually very long. It's longer, so even the cost goes high. So with these ones, it is not going up to that. Why? It's because this is the open field and it's done on mid. Like mostly, it takes about 3 months. 3 months production, 3 months harvest. That's about 6 months. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So from
I can do a technical calculations of all this and then give you the feeding. That's why I think most of the time you find farmers out there, we are always crying like to the government to say, look, we actually see no much benefits in these input costs, because yeah, we have the ZRA knocking off the taxes from agriculture related input, but then why are they still very expensive? Because these are very expensive. I'll give you an example of a multi-grade NPK. Just a 25 kg cost 1,800 kwacha. And that one is not that you apply it, when you buy, you apply it for the rest of the month. It is just an application for a week. And that is just one NPK, 25 kg. 19. If you call it like a polyfeed or so, it costs 1,800. You see. Now, how many do we need such bag and that number of bags? From this field to that side, you need about 50 kgs in a week. You see. So meaning I will have to double that, and every week. Now every week multiplied by 6 months. You see. So that's what
how are you making your profit if you're spending that much on these tomatoes?
I have to ensure that what I'm producing is of the best quality. Yeah, that's how I'm making my profit. Because it has to be of the best quality, that you like it. When it is there, you will be happy to get it at the price that the shop will give you. When I'm supplying to my buyers, I'm able to give it, because I will have to do a calculation also. This is the cost of production, and for me to break even, obviously I will have to tag my products at this particular price, so that I'm able to retain a bit of whatever I used, unless where business doesn't balance out. But that's how it is. So there's no way that I'm going to ensure that this is protected if I'm not producing good quality. Because even if I want that practice, that price to be there, I set my price on my product, and the quality is not good, you would just say, let him be with his product, and then it will be my loss. So I'll have to ensure that the best quality is achieved, I have the best quantity is achieved, and I have the consistency. I exist on the market when and as and when you need me to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I've managed to continue and be who I am today.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to supplying to these supermarkets, are you only supplying to those ones in Lusaka or those out of Lusaka as well?
Our products are going countrywide. So what happens with these supermarkets is they have a central place where everything is taken there. Then from there, that's when distributions are done. So we take to the central place, and countrywide distributions are done from there.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can get our products everywhere, anywhere in Zambia.
Are they branded? No.
We brand under the umbrella, shops like that. Yeah.
Okay. So let's support him and his tomatoes. Each time you walk into that supermarket, you might just be buying his tomatoes. So let's support local, eh?
Very, very confident. As long as once you just entered any of these leading supermarkets, you bought tomatoes, you bought English cucumbers, you bought yellow peppers, red peppers, green peppers. Definitely, you have eaten something from here. So we really value your support, and we like it that you give us more of that through the shops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winter maize is one of the first crops that you planted, the very, very first.
It is.
What's the process of growing winter maize?
Okay, well, it's winter maize growing is very simple. All you need is seed, the land, and irrigation. A very bit of water. Then also maybe a few chemicals to protect it from the infestation of insects such as armyworms. Now, you know, there are these armyworms that have come, long time ago we never used to have them, but it is with time and climate change, things are changing. Now we need to spray against armyworms. So it's just a seed that you need. Calculate your area, know how many seeds will go in there, know the variety that is going to do well for you, because you know to say the target for winter maize mostly is for market purposes. Is to sell. So know the variety that will do well for you, and know the variety that is quite resistant to climatic changes and also diseases, because you are planting it off the normal season. Then once you do that, prepare your land. Then provide it with a sustainable and reliable sources of water, so that you can be giving it consistent water adequately. Once that is done, it's the fertilization part. You fertilize, you protect them from insects. There you are. You are having your crops and ready for the sale.
So what would you say is some of the biggest challenge of growing winter maize?
Water availability, I think. Because this requires water to be available. And remember that like this time around, you're not having any rains, especially in our region now. So water supply will depend on you as a farmer. I think that's one of the biggest challenges. Once you navigate through that, then the next challenge is the armyworms. If you don't control your armyworms can actually affect 100% of your fields. And when that is done, you can have 100% loss, depending on the level of infestation. So these are something that you need to look out for. Once these are taken care of, just feed and wait for your money to come.
So who do you supply this maize to? Are you also supplying this maize to supermarkets, or this one is just?
Winter maize has got demand everywhere. Like, it's just everywhere. You can sell it everywhere. So this is given as an open check. Because, as a business, there's need for petty cash. So this is some of those crops that are able to sustain our petty cash. So these are ready for the marketeers out there. They're ready for families out there. They just want to come and get units from here just for their families. They come and pick, then we give them, and it keeps us running as a business.
So what variety is this one? Maize variety?
This one is a 555. It's actually propagated by Seedco. It's SC.
So this one is like the best for growing in winter.
Well, if you're looking at white maize, the white maize, this one has got capabilities to resist pressure, also off season, but it can also be grown during the rain season. It is actually a variety that has good adaptability capacities. Yeah, but there are others like you need yellow as well. Yeah, you can go for 608, and no, there are a lot of other varieties. Yeah.
And what are some of the biggest lessons that farming has taught you?
Patience. Yeah, I think I have to approach life with some more patience and consistency, as well as I have to be determined and focused in life.
So since you started farming, have you made any losses? Or let me put it this way, what has been one of your biggest losses from the crop, from the maize and the tomato?
Well, for the maize, as you can see, maize actually I do it as cushioning, some of the losses that could have happened, from other crops, heavy feeder crops like, let's say, tomatoes and everything. Yeah. So with the maize, I haven't made a loss yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it is something that always picks up well because most of the facilities I think are available for it. It doesn't require a lot of resources in terms of money to do it, and it doesn't require a lot of labor as well in terms of human availability. You see, a few people can manage a hectare. Yeah, so this is actually it produced at a low cost, but it has got a high income. Yeah. Then when it comes to other crops like tomatoes and others like English cucumbers, the peppers, yes, there, I cannot actually exist on the market for over 10 years without a loss. They've actually been heartbreaking losses. The good part is I don't have the blood pressure that high thing. Yeah, there's just that part where um, I had sat down and I really made my plans, and I was hoping for a very, very better expansion that I'm still having. Obviously, in future time, you'll be able to see what is ahead of us. Yeah, in terms of value addition. So what I did was, okay, let me make sure that I actually grow my fields everywhere, so that once I retire, I realize the return, I should be able to pick up and do that. Yeah, so I had to expand my fields in such that I had all the areas all the units. You talk about the Chongwe based, here the Lusaka based, the Chingola, that's the cover belt based fields. All of them were filled to capacity. Okay, so, and what happened in that year, I think we received a lot of rains, obviously for the first time, and the humidity actually it was bad, and there was this disease which just came, and I think for most of us as farmers, we were not prepared for it. We were not adequately prepared for it. Yeah, even not only farmers, but even the the lab itself for the production of the chemicals that were specifically for that particular type of a disease. They were not prepared. Yeah, so it came in a form of late blight, and it actually wiped all the hectares of the field that were planted in about 2 weeks. The third week, as we are running up and down trying to find the solution, like, no, let's do this, give it that, let's give it that, all the fruits would have, like, they had already turned brown, and the leaves were, so the crop actually just lost the life, and I had to say, this is where it ends, you see. So, the moment when you are in the office and you just hear a call, like you receive a call in the morning and say, sir, here, I don't think we are okay because whatever wind we had in the night, but it seems to be very, very bad. It's affecting the crop, and then you just rush there, and you not say God has given you a little bit of some knowledge, so you can, when you just take a glance, you see what is there. Maybe you have an idea of what is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you are there, and you see, you try to liken it as maybe, the temperatures were too low, but then you look at the rate at which that has been done, it is just like it was fire, wiping off the field. And so it was a very, very bad experience.
Yeah.
So that cost is actually lost at a point when production is already almost, there. So it means you have actually invested enough, and that has actually been washed away.
So how did you recover from that big loss?
Well, in terms of recovery, the first thing first, I had to drive myself back to my creator. Otherwise, he's the best inspiration. Yeah, I had to, everything happens, whether good or bad for me. I believe that there is some authority that he gives. And from a good, there are lessons that are learned. From a bad, there are also lessons that I always drive, and put together, and, at some point I can put in a book. Yeah. So from there, I had to be patient, prayerful, and really focus that I think there's just something that happened which I did not understand. Him was going to understand that, but I had to look at other major ways, because as a business you must have some risk management plans, so that will focus your resilience in your operations. So I lost the main, yes. The next step I did was not to go for the main crop again, but to go for an easier to manage crop that would not require much of the cost, to be invested in there. So I had to still look at the low cost crops that will be able to be produced and be offloaded on the market, not really taking so much of the time. Those that can take like a month or two, they are ready. I offload to the market, I get a little bit of some return, then I do the same, and until when I was ready, I think it was 3 months later, then I did another field of tomato. So here we are.
I think most of these farmers would have given up.
Yeah, a lot. I think a lot of farmers, when we are like that, not only such things, they give up even when they produce their tomatoes. Then they take to the market and they find the price at 5 kwacha. Then they'll say, I will never do tomatoes again. This is just a waste of it. Yeah, but mostly it is just about how do you strategize, how do you plan your business. Yeah, you have produced, which is your market. Yeah. So in case the market does vice versa, what are you going to do? So there must be all those plans, to some extent. It comes now that insurance is very important. We need to be included in the financial programming, because this is the challenges that you find in the Zambian context, and also in the African context. You'd get the fact that the farmers are not really included in most of these financial plannings. So the financial inclusivity is actually a little bit biased, because what they just know is a farmer is a traditional retiree who sits at a farm and is doing things that are not tangible and they cannot benefit the economical sector and something like that. But things have changed. We are contributing massively to employment. We are contributing massively to the economic development of the country and Africa at large. And when it comes to financial plannings, farmers should be considered, so that their views and their interests can also be put in the national framework. Yeah. So in an event where such things were insured, what would have happened? That loss would have actually made easier the impact felt by the farmer. So that is it, I think, so to mention.
Okay, let me take you back to where you were working.
Okay.
What was the reaction from family and friends when you told them, I think I'm leaving from employment, I'm going to become a full-time farmer?
Let us see what he's going to do. That was the first thing. That's many of the colleagues were saying. He'll come back, he will fail and come back. I think that is the most reaction that I got from there. Yeah, with the families, of course, you know, where they feel like you are winning the bread. They say the breadwinner. Yeah, you are winning the bread, and you just decide to say, I think I have to stop there to concentrate on something which they are not seeing. You see, so it is something that is accepted with very mixed feelings. A few would say, let's go with it, but a few would say, yeah, mzativutisha chemu, no, mzavutisha chesha. So I had to really be focused with colleagues. They've said we have seen people who have resigned, and after some time they come back to start begging for what they left. So me, I said, let me try it. Until today, I have actually provided more employment to others. I have employed myself, and I'm extending it to a lot more families who are benefiting from my risk which I took. Yeah.
So what are they saying now? When they see you've made it big?
I'm receiving a lot of congratulatory messages. You see, there are a lot of, congratulations. No, it's better for you. It's better with us. We are still here. A lot of troubles. You know, the troubles you left, we still have them here, and other stories like that. So, yeah, I think, and we continue interacting.
What word of advice would you give to that young farmer that is scared of taking big risks like yours?
Well, I think risk taking is something that to some is inborn. Yeah, to some it is part of them, but to some it is something that they always have to consider. So before you take a risk, make sure that you assess it, you know its magnitude, and you have both sides of it, so that as you are deciding, you should be able to decide more confidently. And once you just get into it, never look back, just go forward. You see? So if you're afraid of taking something, it's better you don't take it. But once you just take it, don't be afraid, just do it. With time, you'll be actually shocked with the results that you achieve.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what I can say. We risk are there when we can take them once we are able to, we have decided, but never be influenced by people, you see, because that one did that, I should just do that as well, without necessarily taking a thorough analysis of your own situation. I think that is something also that you may need to consider.
Here's one question that we ask every guests that we have.
Okay.
What is one thing you'd change about Zambia?
One thing I've changed about Zambia?
You would change about Zambia?
One thing I would change
about Zambia.
Wow. Okay. One thing that I would change about Zambia is the aspect of looking at agriculture as a dormant industry. I think that one I would really want it changed so that agriculture can be seen with all its required opportunities that it has. Agriculture is actually the future of the country, Zambia. And in agriculture, we have the future of Africa. Provided we just do it well, we plan it well, we see the results are actually far much better than what we are seeing in many other industries.
And do you think Zambia has opportunities?
Great opportunity that Zambia has. Yeah, very great opportunity that Zambia has. And as soon as we are adapting to these climatic changes, we should be also developing slowly. And as soon as we are seeing now the description of agriculture, the acceptability of agriculture in the Zambian youth, I think it's actually giving us an indication that we have started describing agriculture in a very modern way, where youth are involved in this industry when they are more energetic than waiting for their retirement age, which used to make it bad. And then also investment in agriculture, as long as it becomes active and it is given on the P1, even in our budgeting, You know, when you are when you are looking at the national budget, it should be to the attention of most of us as Zambians in Africa to look at how much has been allocated for agriculture. For those that would like to purchase products from us, that is English cucumbers, local cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers of various colors, red, green, and yellow. They can simply reach us on 0965 457990, or Airtel is also 0978 148827. You can email at Ackibu Saidi, ackibusaidi3@gmail.com. Finally, you can still follow us on Facebook, that is Farming with Ackibu Saidi Zambia.